Hey everyone, so it's Hearth and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we're going to be doing a waxing moon attraction ritual. I get a lot of requests for workings that surround the full moon, but the waxing moon is something that I think is thoroughly underrated, so today we're going to be doing an attraction ritual specifically for this season of the lunar cycle. The waxing phase is the phase between the new moon and the full moon. It's where the moon is slowly becoming larger and larger in the sky, and it ends with the moon being completely full and easily visible. This is the moon phase where you're going to want to be attracting things into your life, because the energy is amplifying, it's building up, and it's going to accumulate on that full moon. This particular ritual is one that I have done for the majority of my practice. It's designed to attract things that you would like to manifest into your life. This could be a job, a house, a car, a little bit more money, a little bit more peace of mind. It could be simply clarity and calmness. It could be focus. It could be a better relationship with your family, your friends, your loved ones. Essentially, it's for anything positive that you want to bring into your life. I do have another ritual that is for removing negative things from your life, which I will be able to link in the description box if that specifically is what you're after. This working, however, is designed to attract all that good stuff in. The items that you need for this ritual are fairly simple. You can get a lot of them at craft stores and supermarkets, and you can also adapt the things in this working depending on what it is that you have and what it is that you want to manifest. The most important thing that you need is a box or container, ideally something with a lid that is not plastic. For me personally, I prefer using wood, and I will use a lot of wooden trinket boxes. You can also use metal. If you're wanting something on a budget, doesn't need to be fancy, you can get really plain, simple wooden boxes from places like The Works or The Range. I reckon you could probably find them from lots of craft places around the world as well. I just don't know the names of a lot of craft stores in like America and Australia and stuff, but I'm sure your craft stores will probably have just simple wooden or cardboard boxes that you can use. Now, the size of the box makes a difference. The bigger the box, the more things you can put in. The smaller the box, the fewer things that you can put in. But just remember, the more things that you add into this working to manifest, the less energy there is to go between them. So if you have something that you really want to manifest strongly, do it by itself. If you want to work on lots of things simultaneously, you can do them all in one go. Just bear in mind that the more things there are, the less energy there is to go around. You're then going to want a piece of paper and a pen. This is so that you can write your desired things on the piece of paper so that you can then add it into the box. If you do want to give things a little bit more energy, you can use whole bay leaves and write your intention onto the leaves. Just bear in mind this is going to be considerably more expensive than doing it on paper and isn't a requirement. It's just something that some might find useful if they do want something that's a little bit more difficult to achieve, or something that is a little bit bigger that they're going to be working on for months and months and months. You're then going to want some plants that you can add into this box that represent your desired outcome. Now, please only put dry things in this box. You do not want your fresh herbs to rot next to the things you're trying to manifest, because if the plants start to rot, so will your desired goals. So make sure that everything is completely dry and safe. Now, you can really adapt this to suit what it is that you want. The three plants that I will use more than any other are rose, chamomile, and bay leaves. For me, rose represents the full moon, manifestation, attraction, and success. Chamomile represents abundance, good luck, and prosperity in all areas of life, and bay leaves are for protection and for wishing and good fortune. So I'll add some pieces of bay leaves in there as well. You then may want to add in things that represent your goal. So for instance, if you are desperate to get a particular house, you can put a photograph of said house in the box. If you would like to be able to purchase a car and you don't really mind the kind of car, put a little toy car in that box. If you really want to manifest a family and safety and comfort, you might want to use little dolls, like little children's toys that represent family and security to you. This could be a good thing to do if you do find the imagery is more significant to you than simply words. Now, you don't have to add any extra items in, that is just there if you would like to, and for those of you who like working with crystals, you can add in crystals that represent your intention as well if that's something that you would like to do. To get started, you're going to want to set everything up in a space that is very peaceful and calm. You're going to want some dim lighting. I will typically always do this with candlelight, but obviously for the purposes of this video, I couldn't just do it via candlelight. You wouldn't be able to see what I was doing. But go with whatever lighting makes you feel comfortable and secure. Ideally, you're also going to want to be able to sit somewhere comfortable so that you can be there and contemplate for a long period of time. If you have LED lights or some kind of coloured lights, you might want to change the colour to suit your desired intentions. You might also want to put on a music playlist of things that represent your goals. It could be modern music, it could be classical music, it could be witchy music, whatever it is you feel good with, or you can simply have nature sounds or silence. It's entirely up to you. Some people may want to have a ritual or cleansing bath or shower beforehand. That is an option, and you can cast a circle, though personally I wouldn't bother, as you don't necessarily need to build the energy for this working, as it's going to essentially magnify over time. If you haven't already, I would recommend cleansing any of the items you're going to use within this ritual. That includes things like the box, any crystals or additional items you plan on adding in, as well as the pen and paper. This is especially the case if other people have handled these items recently, as you don't want their energy mingling in with this working and potentially redirecting it. Once you're done with all of your preparations, you're going to want to sit comfortably within your space. You're going to want to contemplate the things that you want to manifest. How could they manifest? Are they things that are going to manifest quickly or slowly? While you're thinking of this, you're going to want to focus on each individual thing as you write it on a piece of paper or onto the bay leaf. You're going to want to be visualizing or thinking of all of the things that this makes you feel. Does it make you feel secure or happy? What does it look like? What does it feel like? You're going to want to be focusing on the way it makes you feel as you write it on a piece of paper, and then you're going to want to carefully rip each one out separately so that you can add them into the box individually. If you are using bay leaves, you obviously don't need to rip anything out of anywhere. Just set each bay leaf to the side once you've written on it so that then you can do the others. Sit with each one. This could be for 15 minutes, it could be for 5 minutes, it could be for an hour. It's really going to depend on what you feel comfortable with. You're really going to want to be imagining yourself in that scenario. Feel it as though you already have it. Focus on it as though you are already there. You don't need to say any words out loud, just think of it in your head. It doesn't have to be pictures either. It could be words that you're talking yourself through if you're not able to visually visualize. Once you're ready and all of your items have been cut out, you're going to want to fill the bottom of the box with your herbs. It doesn't need to be a huge amount, just enough for there to be some touching each piece of paper. For me, I essentially create a bed of herbs on the bottom of my small, shallow box so that each single piece of paper is able to touch it and assist it in manifesting. You're then going to want to add in any additional items. These could be crystals that you've charged for intention. They could be items that represent your desired goals. And if you're adding in items, make sure that you're holding each one and really focusing on how it's going to make you feel when you receive what it is that you're looking for. When you're ready, add them into the box as well. When your herbs, crystals, and other items have been added into the box, it's time to add in your written papers, the things that you desire to achieve written in physical form. If you've written these on bay leaves, you're going to want to add them in whole, but if you've written them on slips of paper, you may want to fold or roll them depending on your intention. Personally, I like to roll mine, but what you choose to do with yours is going to be entirely personal. When I add them into the box, I ensure that I think of the intention just before I place them inside, and I try to make sure that they're always touching the herbs and the crystals as well as any other items, but they aren't touching each other. That way they can manifest individually and in their own ways, so they aren't contaminating one another's energies. And then when you're ready, you're going to want to close the box, and you're going to want to sit it on a windowsill every single night till the full moon, so that it can absorb the energy of the waxing moon as it amplifies towards the full moon. You're going to want to take it in every morning, put it out every night, or you can just put it out for a few hours every night, bring it back in again, that way you don't forget about it. Over time, doing this repeatedly, the energy of the moon is going to magnify the energy that you put into that box. So on day 1, it's going to be a little bit of energy. On day 2, it's going to be double. On day 3, it's going to be triple. And over time, that is going to build up and build up and build up before it starts manifesting in your physical life. It's important to remember though that the bigger the thing you're asking for, the longer an amount of time it's going to take. Nothing is instant, even with magic. It requires going into the astral and then trickling back into the physical. That's time consuming. And depending on what it is that you're after, it could take extensive periods of time. So if you can do the mundane work alongside it, then do it. If, for instance, you want a £10 million house but you don't have a job, that is going to be a really, really hard ask. So try working in the physical world to improve your finances, to give you a better chance of getting that £10 million house. That way, it's easier for it to manifest. Obviously, that is a very extreme example, but even something as simple as wanting to have a family get-together, that's something that you want to manifest. If your family is not spoken for years and years and years, nothing is going to change overnight if someone doesn't make the first step. And so you might want to be the one that makes the first step to bring everyone back together again so the energy can start manifesting effectively. Over the waxing season, you're going to start noticing these things begin to manifest. And as you get to the full moon, this is when you want to start reevaluating your box. Anything that is really close to manifesting, you are going to want to take out, and anything that has already manifested, you're going to want to take those out as well and set them to one side. The box with the remaining items and the remaining pieces of paper, you're going to want to store in a dark, safe space, ideally kept wrapped in a piece of dark fabric or pillowcase. This is so that the energy of the waning phase isn't going to negatively influence the working. This is then stored in a nice safe place till after the new moon, and then you can reevaluate and continue manifesting. The pieces of paper or bay leaves with writing on that you set to one side can then actually be worked with and finished up on the full moon. So you're going to want a fireproof container, fire safety equipment, a candle, as well as a pair of tweezers or charcoal tongs of some kind. And you're going to want to use the energy of the full moon to complete that manifestation. So using a candle, you're going to want to take each piece of paper in the safety tongs or tweezers, and you're going to want to light it on fire and drop it into the cauldron. This action releases all of that energy that you've built up over the last season, over that waxing phase, and you're releasing it with the energy of the full moon so it can go all at once. This is going to give a real boost to the end of your working so it can manifest even faster. This is done on the full moon for the ones that are very close to being done, so it can speed up the process of manifestation just that little bit more so that you can tip it over the edge to manifesting. When you're done and everything is burned down to ashes, you are going to want to dispose of these ashes somewhere on your property. Somewhere like a plant pot works really well because you can keep it safe and secure, and also it's not going to negatively impact the environment because it's just ashes. You can also water it down and tip it onto your grass as a way of returning it to your space so it can continue manifesting even outside of that box. You're then going to wait till after the new moon. So it's a month since you started this working. And you're going to get that box back out of the dark again, open it up, and reevaluate all of the pieces of paper or the bay leaves that are in that box. Take out anything that you don't think needs manifesting anymore and add anything in that you would like to continue or begin manifesting. And then you repeat the process again and again and again. And the more you do this, the more months that you're doing this for, the more that box contains a higher level of energy because you've been doing it time and time and time again. And you'll often find that a box that has been used for months, even years, is going to be so much more powerful than a brand new box. So just stick with it. And these kind of manifestations really do work effectively over long periods of time. So I hope that you did enjoy this little ritual. This one isn't solely for the witches out there. I know that there's a lot of people who do manifestations separately from witchcraft and find that this kind of technique works really well. If you are a practitioner and you do want to give this working a little bit of an extra oomph, a little push in the right direction, you can also call for the assistance of your familiar spirit or any servitors that you have created for this particular purpose to help push along the manifestation in the spiritual plane a little bit more. You know, get everything lined up properly in the astral plane so that it manifests faster in the physical. If you do this kind of working, let me know how your successes have been. Let me know anything that you do differently. I would absolutely love to know. And it gives lots of ideas for other people as to how they can incorporate and alter their own practice to suit them. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, video ideas, or any other spell or ritual videos you would like me to do, feel free to put it down in the comment section, as I would love to do more of these videos. And if you do enjoy the magical content on this channel in in this video, feel free to hit subscribe. I try to post magical content every single week. So with that being said, I hope you have a marvelous magical day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Oh boy, okay. I've been sitting here for like an hour and a half. My back hurts. My back hurts, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go get some eat. I'm gonna get some eat. Yes, English, good, very. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get some food. And I'm obsessed with this jumper. It's suddenly gone cold, and now I can stick my hands in my jumper and it's so cozy. Because yeah, I'm freezing in this house. This house is so cold right now. It is like rainy and wet, that's the same thing, and cold and windy, and England has gone cold. Not like Canada cold, but like England cold. So where was I going with this? I actually don't even remember. My brain has just gone to mush, and it was torrential for like half of this video, so kind of hoping, I'm not sure whether I'm hoping that it picks up on camera or hoping that it doesn't. I'm not sure what's worse. The fact that it was raining and you missed it, or the fact that I don't have to try and correct that on my microphone. Anyway, I'm distracting myself. Have a good night, everyone. As you think of each... Wow, it is chucking it down outside now. I hope you can't hear that on the camera, oh dear. Please, let this be done this time. I think I've recorded this section 5 times. I don't know what the clunking sound is. I can't tell if it's the headset, if it's the microphone, if it's something I'm touching. I don't know. I've done this section so many times. I don't want to say it anymore. And I've got a song in my head that I can't get out of my head, and it's not even a full song, it's just like the 10-second TikTok audio of a cover of a song, and it's infuriating me. And I love it so much, but oh my god, it's stuck in my head. Okay, and breathe. We're gonna do this time. We're gonna get it in one take. Yes, we are. Okay. My neighbors must think I'm absolutely nuts. I'm just talking to myself, and they can probably hear everything. Okay, anyway, stop procrastinating. We can do this. It's time to add in the written assignment. Where the hell did I get the word assignment from? That's not what I wanted to say. Okay, redo. It's time to add in your written associations. That's not the word I was after either. Okay, redo.